Hey folks, this video is about what would happen if Anthony Joshua fights Deontay Wilder. You may hear a little talking in the back. My son is doing his homework. What would happen? I got two scenarios. One scenario is the bell rings, they come out. Deontay Wilder, as you know, he holds his arm out in a fashion that he did against Luis Ortiz. Both men come out cautiously. Wilder wants to get his right hand on Anthony Joshua's face, but he's still cautious, for he knows the danger that Joshua possesses. So they both come out and kind of look for distance and come out cautiously. They kind of circle each other cautiously. Wilder puts that long left out, and Joshua, responding, kind of extends his a little bit, but from a distance. He doesn't come up to touch arms like Luis Ortiz did. He keeps, like I said, keeps his distance, because he knows if he gets within the distance of that fist or that extended arm, Wilder has him, and he can shoot that deadly right. So, Wilder then shoots a double jab. He catches Joshua with the first one, and the second one, Joshua circles to his left, not to his right. Which Wilder is trying to do, trying to shoot that jab and make Joshua kind of go to his right to dodge that jab. I think the fight will go on like that for a while. Very little punches thrown, but eventually, when Wilder throws that jab out, Joshua is gonna avoid it and shoot that right hand, catch Wilder, and after that, all the fight plans, which is strategies, which either one hand is gone. You're just gonna see right hands and left hooks going, jabs, right hand, and whoever catches who first is gonna win. Because if Wilder, you know what, people say Wilder can knock Joshua out with one punch. I don't know about that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Yes, Wilder is a great puncher, and I don't know right now, because I know he's knocked out 40 guys, but I'm not. Look, I think Wilder, all the heavyweights, all the fighter champions fought guys who were less than stellar, and while they were coming up the ranks before they became champion. But you know what? This is not just Wilder. Some of the guys I've seen Wilder fight, some of the guys I've seen Luis Ortiz fight, even this young guy in England today, with Daniel Dubois or Dubois or something like that. These are some of the worst fighters I've ever seen in my life. I must say, all of them. Fury, even Joshua has fought some outright bums. I don't want to call a professional fighter a bum. Some guys who will, I say, less than stellar, okay, less than competent. But out of our whole group, I hate to say this, because I really like Deontay Wilder as a person. I don't know him as a person, but I can tell he's who he is. He's not pretending. That's a group I think Wilder may have faced. No, Fury. You go back and look at Fury's fights. I say up until he fought Vladimir Klitschko, he did start it because he fought Derek Chisora, who's no punk. Derek Chisora would give anybody a run for their money. Even in the old eras, he would have gave him whatnot. But when he did that and KO'd him the second time, that's how I knew Fury was a man to be reckoned. But anyway, Fury's fought, I think, some of the biggest bums, perhaps. But Fury had a few good ones too. But Deontay Wilder has fought the worst fighters in that group up until Stiverne. And it's not his fault because that's all he had available to him. Stiverne was the first and only really good fighter up until that point. And but when he beat Luis Ortiz, body recovering from steroids or not, I knew the man was for real, and I knew that he was capable, that he was a man to reckon with for anybody. Before that, I was just Joshua crazy, and I didn't think Wilder had no chance with Joshua. But to me, that's almost like a 50-50 fight. But I'm going to be honest. I think it's like a 49-51 fight. Because I think that Joshua has more polish. And if he can avoid from being knocked out, he'll beat Deontay Wilder. The way Wilder took that beating from Ortiz in the 7th round, he has a hell of a chin. But you know what? People talk about Joshua, but I think he has a hell of a chin too. Look at Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, we can't really say that Wilder punches harder than Vladimir Klitschko, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Wilder is just a more active puncher. He throws more punches. Vladimir Klitschko, he's very cautious in his approach. He's very economical with that right hand and left hook. Towards the end of his career, he was becoming more fluent with it. But you can't say that Wilder punches harder than Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, he has, he might. But Vladimir Klitschko fought a little less than stellar opponents. But they were better than Wilder's opponents. I mean, I have to be honest, except for Luis Ortiz. I don't see anybody that Vladimir Klitschko ever knocked out that's better than Luis Ortiz. I don't think. I have to go back and... Now, Vitali had one or two opponents who I think would have given Luis Ortiz a good fight or even beat him, like Corey Sanders. Corey Sanders was a tough old boy. And he had dynamite in that left hand. But Corey Sanders did beat Vladimir Klitschko. Knocked him out. But anyway, I digress. We're talking about Joshua. And by the way, I don't think Vladimir would ever have beaten Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua was on his A game. But the problem with Joshua and Wilder is that they started late in their careers. That's why we see these guys and we don't see them as being as good or as skilled as the guys as the former eras, because guys in the old day, Ali started at 12 years old. Evander Holyfield started at 8 years old. These Lennox Lewis had 100 or more amateur fights. So of course these guys today we're coming in at 18, 16 and whatnot, and are not going to seem as fluid and as good and as skilled as the guys of the past. But what they do have is they're fucking monsters. 6'7", 6'6", 6'9", and Tyson Fury's as Tyson Fury is. That's a hard. Even a guy like that with even marginal skill is a hard man for anybody. I mean, anybody. Even going back to Ali would have been a hell of an opponent for Ali. Height and reach does matter, and height and reach with a measure of skill is a hell of a thing to defeat. And these guys have power. They have great leverage with that power. That's a recipe for getting your ass knocked out. I don't care who you are. I don't care what era you fought in. So even the guys of the past, if they weren't real careful, could have been had by either one, Joshua, Wilder, or outboxed by Fury. But in Fury's case, he's like Ali. I mean, like Larry Holmes. He's very susceptible to a right hand. Ali was susceptible to left hooks, but they had to be world class left hooks. Anyway, I'm gonna be real with you folks. If Joshua fights the way he fought Klitschko, I think he could beat Wilder. I really do. Because if Wilder hurts Joshua and starts windmilling, if you go back and look at that Gerald Miller fight, I think that was a premature stoppage. Because Gerald Miller got up and Gerald Washington, that is, got up and I'm confusing Gerald Miller and Big Baby Miller. Gerald Washington and Big Baby Miller, but Gerald Washington, he got up and walked away. He wasn't out. He wasn't knocked out. The referee stopped it early. And if Wilder starts windmilling like he did when he hurt Gerald Washington, and Anthony Joshua is not totally out, and he's still able to engage, he's gonna knock Deontay Wilder out or hurt him. I don't know if he'll hurt him enough to stop him because Wilder has a damn good chin, but he's going to be able to score heavily on Wilder, or Wilder hurts and Joshua, and Joshua stumbles back to the fence. I'm thinking the octagon, stumbles back to the ropes, and Deontay Wilder follows him recklessly like he did Luis Ortiz, with his hand up like that, his guard not up. Then Joshua's going to catch him and possibly floor him. But if Joshua fights extremely tentatively like he did against Joseph Parker, he's going to get his ass knocked the fuck out. Trust me. Trust me on that. So it depends on which Joshua we see. If we see the normal Anthony Joshua with a chin able to get up after being floored by Vladimir Klitschko, because Vladimir, don't get it twisted, I'm not saying, Vladimir by his record was one of the greatest heavyweights. So we have to give him that by his record. Though I don't see him as one of the greatest heavyweights. But I tell you what, he had one of the biggest punches of any heavyweight ever. Vladimir Klitschko could put you away with one shot, a hook or a right hand. So if Joshua can get up from behind a Vladimir Klitschko right hand, then I believe that Joshua could get up from a Deontay Wilder right hand. Even though, like I said, I don't know if Wilder punches harder than Klitschko. He may. But even if he did, I still think Joshua could withstand a first barrage. Well, maybe not barrage, but a couple of good punches that floors him. I think he'll get up, and then when Wilder starts throwing those right hands, he'll be able to survive the barrage. Those wild windmill right hands. And that's what's going to happen. Wilder gets overexcited, especially fighting Joshua, a guy who is his arch nemesis, and whose camp has bullshitted Wilder around this last few months. We saw. And I just, I think Joshua, being the boxer he is, with the team he has, will be able to avoid those windmill punches. If Wilder, he starts throwing windmills once he hurts you, and when he hurts Joshua, if he does the same thing, Joshua's going to be able to avoid that and get his head clear, and then he's going to come back with a barrage of his own. And he's going to be catching Wilder, because Wilder's going to get excited once he hurts you. I think he will hurt Joshua now, but he's going to get excited, and he's going to be coming in open, and Joshua's going to be able to capitalize on that. Now, whether he'll knock Wilder out, I don't know, but I think he will hurt him significantly. And I think if Joshua hurts Wilder, he will finish him on those ropes. I don't know if he'll knock him down or out, but because Wilder seems to have strong legs. Some guys are knocked out and they still stand on their feet, and I think that's the case with Wilder. His legs are skinny as hell like mine, but they're strong. I think that if Wilder catches Joshua and hurts him, Joshua will be able to avoid those windmill punches. He's going to windmill. That's just something he does instinctively. And then Joshua's going to be able to counter with a barrage of his own. And I don't think Wilder will be able to survive that because